What if I told you most wrinkles are not caused by age at all, but by something you do every day, without noticing? And up to 80 to 90% of what you see in the mirror is not time, it is exposure. And that changes everything, because what is damaged can often be slowed, prevented, and sometimes partly reversed. Lower the pace, and you often change the story before the story becomes visible. That means what many people call natural aging is often years of invisible injury. Skin aging starts long before the first wrinkle. Deep inside the skin, the main repair workers, fibroblasts, slowly lose power. These are the cells that build collagen, elastin, and the soft support network that keeps skin firm, thick, and springy. With age, they accumulate DNA damage. Their telomeres, which are protective caps on chromosomes, get shorter. Their mitochondria, which are the cell's energy batteries, work less cleanly, and more reactive oxygen species leak out like sparks inside an old machine. So the fibroblast shifts from builder mode into survival mode. It builds less fresh collagen, repairs more slowly, and sometimes even releases inflammatory signals that worsen aging around it. That is why skin becomes thinner, drier, less elastic, and slower to recover. But this intrinsic aging is often only about 10 to 20% of the visible story on the face. The larger part usually comes from outside, and the biggest outside enemy is sunlight. If intrinsic aging is your repair crew getting slower, then sun exposure is the vandal that keeps breaking the building every day. Ultraviolet A goes deeper, into the dermis, where most collagen lives. Ultraviolet B hits more superficially and causes the classic burn. But both create reactive oxygen species, those same destructive sparks, and those sparks do two things at once. They damage the skin directly, and they switch on enzymes that behave like molecular scissors, cutting through collagen and elastin. At the same time, the sun tells fibroblasts to build less new collagen, so the skin loses support from both sides, more destruction, less rebuilding. That is why the face becomes looser, rougher, more wrinkled, and more spotted. And this is exactly why daily sunscreen is not cosmetic fluff. In a randomized trial, people who used daily sunscreen had about 24% less skin, aging over 4.5 years from this one habit alone. But the sun is not alone. Air pollution works like microscopic soot and chemical dust. It settles on the skin, pushes through the barrier, triggers oxidative stress, and then the skin answers with inflammation. This is especially important for pigmentation, because inflammatory signals wake up melanocytes, the cells that make pigment, and tell them to produce more melanin. So pollution does not just roughen the skin, it can make the face more blotchy and uneven. Sleep matters too, because during sleep the skin enters something like night repair mode. Barrier recovery improves, inflammation calms down, and daily damage gets patched. When sleep is poor, that repair window shrinks, cortisol rises, and the skin becomes duller, more reactive, and slower to recover. Alcohol ages the face in a dramatic way because it widens blood vessels, dehydrates the skin, disturbs sleep, and pushes inflammation upward. That is why you see the classic combination, redness, more visible small vessels, under-eye puffiness, and facial lines. High sugar is also underestimated. The real problem is not one piece of chocolate, it is the repeated pattern of high sugar load and repeated blood glucose spikes. Sugar behaves like sticky syrup inside tissue. Over time, glucose and especially fructose bind to collagen and elastin and form advanced glycation end products. Imagine caramelizing a soft rope. It becomes stiffer, more brittle, and less flexible. That is exactly what happens to the skin's support structure. Yes, genetics matters. It decides how much melanin you have, how thick your dermis is, how well your fibroblasts respond, and how easily you wrinkle or pigment. But in real life, genetics is often the smaller visible slice. While exposure history dominates, darker skin often wrinkles later because melanin acts like a built-in light filter. But the trade-off is that the same skin may be more prone to hyperpigmentation after inflammation. So better genetics does not mean perfect skin. It means a different balance of risks. And this is why skincare should not be chaotic. Modern dermatology is actually simple here. Morning is for defense, evening is for repair. In the morning, the clean structure is gentle cleanser, then vitamin C if tolerated, then moisturizer if needed, then broad-spectrum sunscreen, ideally sun protection factor 30 or higher, preferably water-resistant. For sensitive skin, zinc oxide or titanium dioxide sunscreens are often better tolerated. The best sunscreen is not one magical brand. It is the one you will actually apply generously every day. In the evening, The structure is cleanser, then retinoid, then moisturizer. If the skin is sensitive, let the face dry first, then use a pea-sized amount. Start only a few nights per week and build slowly. Among retinoids, the strongest anti-aging evidence still belongs to tretinoin. Adapalene is the dark horse because it often gives a better balance of efficacy and tolerability. Retinol is usually the gentlest beginner option, but also the weakest and least predictable, and all of them should be avoided during pregnancy. If you go beyond creams, the most evidence-backed tools after sunscreen and retinoids are niacinamide, botulinum toxin, fractional lasers, microneedling, chemical peels, and fillers. But the logic never changes. First block damage, then repair. Then choose procedures based on the exact problem: dynamic lines, surface damage, pigment, or volume loss. That is the real anti-aging strategy. Not chaos, not hype. Just less damage, better repair, and consistency long enough for the skin to actually change.